Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Today, I'm gonna do something a little different. I've been wanting to help people out and my friends with new decks and decks that they're trying to build, and just people starting out in Pokemon in general, or who are getting into it and they have like no direction. And I just wanted to simply put out my opinion of deck building. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but this is just mine, and I'm just gonna build a deck in front of you. This may be one of the longer videos, so yeah, if you want, stick around, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so first off, the theme of this deck is gonna be Gyarados. I'm just gonna put him out. I like to put like my beginning Pokemon kind of like on the corner for what I'm gonna build off of. Okay, so Gyarados. Okay, so he's just a wild card, but this is my main attacker. I seen it used in the online version, and this whole put energy on and do 30 more, that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I run Mega Mewtwo and all that jazz, and 30 more, wow, like the multiples of 20 it's pretty hard, but like 30 more, it packs a punch. So we're gonna run 4 of these. So when I'm deck building, especially for my main attacker, I like to have multiples of 4. With EXs though, sometimes I like to go a little lower just because, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's too heavy for the deck. So if you run Gyaradoses, you need Magikarps, of course. Okay, so that's the center of the deck for now. Okay, okay, so the strategy is, how can we get as many water energies onto that Gyarados when he's about to attack? Okay, well, my friend pointed out there's this EX called Palkia. So what he does is, for only 2 water energies, search your deck for 2 water energies and attach them to your bench Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. So that gets more water onto Gyarados. So I just happen to have 3. So alright, so now how many energies I'm gonna put on? Typically, I like to run no more than 6, but since this deck is so energy reliant, I'm gonna bump it up to 8. A little bit closer. He has a lot of colorless energy, so I'm gonna run 4 DCEs. And then I looked at this. Energy present. Attach up to 2 energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. So that's pretty much a Palkia in a sense, you know? So I'm like, okay, we'll run 2 for now. Just because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Pokemon in this deck. So we'll run 2. And then if we have a Meowstic, then we're gonna need 2 Espers. Okay? Typically, with most decks, I don't like to do more than 2 types. If it's colorless, I count it almost as like half a type, because usually colorless are usually fillers or like a supporter or just a wild card. Unless you have like a Mega Rayquaza deck or something like that, then that's a straight like colorless deck in a sense, you know. But okay, moving on. Okay, so one thing I noticed with this Gyarados, that Berserker Splash says does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. So it's cool because it does 10 to theirs, but it also does 10 to yours, you know? So, how can we fix that problem? We have 2 options. We have Mountain Ring, which just says prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon. But I also want to run Rough Seas to heal them, so you can't have both of them out at the same time. So the answer to that issue is Mr. Mime. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks. And okay, so right off the bat, I'm like, okay, now I got my bench protected, but I also want to run the Rough Seas, so I'm just gonna put 2 Rough Seas down. Okay, 2 Rough Seas, and my recommendation is always run at least 3 stadiums. I mean, they even work just to discard your opponent's stadium, so that's cool. So 2 Roughies and then 1 Mountain Ring. Usually I'll run 2, but I came across this Silent Lab, and I know I like to run multiples of stuff, but I don't know, for some reason Silent Lab kind of sneaks up on your opponent and they get really pissed. Like, I've used it so many times and it's definitely worked for me. So I was thinking, should I put Psychic Energies or not? And then I remember I have these, and they're pretty much like float stones. So eyes, this little skeleton, and it's forming pretty quickly right now. You know, you gotta have your staple Lysander. You know, I'm not running a lot of V.S Seekers in this deck, so I gotta have more multiples of a supporter. If I had 4 V.S Seekers, I'd probably just do 1 of each. Jurassic, always coming in the clutch. So let's run 2. I want Sycamores because I still want, you know, to go through my deck whenever I need to. So let's put 2. Hexmaniac, just because, why not? Want to stop them from doing evil things. Judge, because it's a good smack in the face, so let's put a Judge. Alright, I want to rely mostly on defense because these aren't EXs, like the Gyarados that I'm gonna have out most of the time. He's not an EX, so I want to protect him as much as I can and heal him. Basically, have him out as much as I can, considering he's just, you know, a soft Pokemon. So I'm gonna run a Solvest. So I really want to evolve my Magikarp really quickly, turn 2 or whatever, because you know you can't evolve turn 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I got myself mistaken. Yes, you can. I was like, okay, you got energy switches at least. So I got 4, but you know, deck space is crucial, so maybe I'll just run 2. Okay. And as this deck gets bigger and bigger, eventually you're gonna find yourself going over the limit, 60. So that's when, around the end, where I start trickling things down, you know? So, but at first I just build it, see how I want it, and then I start chopping it down. Because I want my Magikarp out, I want my Meowstic out, and Dive Ball just because I can get any of my water Pokemon out. So 2 for now. Got a Level Ball and a Dive. Luckily got to trade for an Archie's Ace in the Hole. It's really good. It says you can play this card only when it's the last card in your hand, and you put a water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, then draw 5 Pokemon. So and this is really taking a chance, but if I can discard with my Sycamore, I got these 2 cool Pokemon. Now, both of these abilities are just crazy. I mean, let's start off with this. This one's a newer one. It's from Generations. I mean, I think it's gonna start showing up in the meta just because, I mean, look at it. It says, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, that attacking Pokemon is knocked out. I mean, come on, like, talk about, like, recoil or whatever, like, counter attack, like, that's insane. Like, freaking a Mega or EX or whatever tries to kill you. I mean, he probably will. It only has 90. And then he flips a coin, boom, you take 2. That might win you the game. Who knows, you know? Or you'll be at the end and he's active and he doesn't even want to take the chance of losing, so he might concede. There's this guy. So this guy's crazy because this whole deck is built around how many energies can I get on that Gyarados. So he says, once during your turn before you attack, you may knock out this Pokemon. If you do, attach 3 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So that's crazy. So I gotta make sure water ends up in the discard pile. Okay, so let's pick one. Probably this one. Just because it's all about the energies. Alright, cool. So put them down. So then I thought to myself, how can I get, without a battle compressor, how can I get energies? in my discard pile. Then I thought to myself, okay, I know it sucks to have energies in your discard pile. It's like a smack in the face. But then again, if I have Milotic around, it'll work in my favor. So that's where max potions come in, because they straight up discard energies. So now we're getting pretty full pretty quick. So let's see, I'm just going through my supporters and all that other stuff. Let's get a professor's letter, you know, just ace in the hole. I'm gonna run 2 float stones because they always come in the clutch. They just always do. I mean, looking at my Pokemon, the retreat cost is kind of all over the place. It ranges from 1 to 4. So 4 being Gyarados EX full art. So 2's fine. Alright, now I gotta check myself. Let's see how many freaking cards we have. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. Boom. Alright, already we went over. So now we gotta think about what are we gonna cut off, or what are we gonna replace. So this is natural in deck building. So okay, let's see. Do I have too many Pokemon? Do I have enough supporters? Do I have enough items? I personally think I don't have enough items. Remember how I said 3 stadiums? So now I'm thinking maybe I should take one out. Well, I have Mountain Ring, Silent Lab, 2 Rough-Seas. Definitely want to keep those Rough-Seas. Mountain Ring is for protection, so I'm like, maybe I should take out the Silent Lab. This is what goes through most people's head, and this is what kills them, letting a good card go. So I'm gonna think about it for a while. I feel like I need Assault Vest, just because I want to protect my Gyarados. 2 Pokemon. Maybe I'll bring in 1 more wallet, you know, just to keep it safe. I have 4, so I'm definitely gonna get out my Gyarados. So that's good. Okay, we definitely need Archie's ace in the hole if we're thinking about Milotic. In a sense, you know, these are like Mega Turbos for this deck, you know, in a sense. You know. I think twice to myself. Since I already have Float Stones, maybe I won't need these 2 Mystery Energies. I mean, part of me says it sucks because maybe, you know, I can side shot, but honestly, we just want it for the energy. So we're gonna take these away. I'll do 2 Assault Vests for now. So now we're full. However, I still really need this. And I'm really thinking about putting in this, because we don't have any switches either. And Escape Rope definitely always comes in the clutch. And if you're worried, like, oh, but I have to switch one of mine too. You have 4 Gyaradoses, so you might end up, you know, switching for another Gyarados. So whenever you're playing, also never just stock on 1 Pokemon. You always want to balance it. You always want that backup. So we need 1. Maybe we can afford to take away 1. Okay, we'll take away 1. We really need that Archer's Ace in the hole, so we'll put that out. Okay, I got 3 Mr. Mars. Now, you know what? I don't want to screw myself over, so let's take out this Silent Lab. We still have 3 stadiums, so we're still in the clear. So I'll throw in this Escape Rope. Our Pokemon. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, Bridget. Now I'm thinking to myself, how am I even going to draw my cards? How am I going to get my Pokemon out on the field? I have a Dive Ball and a Level Ball, but that's surely not enough. So she's definitely got to be in here. 3 basic Pokemon, that's pretty cool. Maybe we could throw in this Fan Club. Now I'll take away 1 Wally, and I'll put in a Bridget. Okay. Alright guys, if you made it this far, pretty sure you guys deserve one of these, so enjoy guys. Okay. This for me is a decent deck. I don't think it's the craziest one, but I gotta test it, so that's pretty much how you build a deck. That's just like the step-by-step process. Honestly, some people build decks quicker because they've done it so many times, but that's generally what you should think about when you're building a deck. I know this is a long process, and it should take a long time because you really want your deck to work. You get your main attacker, you got Pokemon supporting that main attacker, then you got stadiums supporting that main attacker, then you got supporters supporting that main attacker, items and tools supporting that main attacker or your second attacker, but I just focus on the Gyarados. So everything pretty much leads to that. So that's generally speaking what you want in your deck. So yeah, here's another one for you guys. Thanks for hanging in there, and I hope this helped out, you know. And thanks for watching Paco's Pokevlog. Enjoy.